Welcome engineers, Racengineer problem, and today's problem is making a setup for both Miami and Canada, the next double header in the season for round 21 and round 22 of the season. If you did not check out the previous episode, check out the card in the top right corner because spoilers in 3, 2, 1. We won the Portugal Grand Prix from 13th after poor qualifying and a mixed conditions race. So, what's next? Miami and Canada time trial. Simple as make setups, 4 lap stints, and then change setup over and over again for 78 minutes at both circuits. Quick thing I want to point out first, in one of my shorts that I made yesterday, which not you yesterday, my yesterday, which was the Sunday of the USGP, I managed to I jokingly said at the end of one of those shorts, I can't remember which one, I think it was one of the episode 91 ones, I jokingly said Charles is going to win, and then I quickly remembered that those shorts won't be going out before the USGP, and in fact will be going out on the same day as the Mexico GP. And then guess what happened? Charles went and won the US Grand Prix. That's not the first time I've done that, actually. If you go to one of P1 with Matt and Tommy's predictions for the Italian Grand Prix, I actually put Charles to win that one as well. So, Charles to win all of them, apparently. The race was great. The less said, the better, though. Because whatever I say will be British biased, because I am British, even though my favourite driver is Charles, so take with that what you will. Anywho, straight into Miami, let's see what we can do. We are doing absolutely nothing at the moment. This is the point where I really hate not having audio, because I have no idea what I'm doing. So let's get straight into it then. First lap, coming across the line with a beginning time of a 31.0. I know I can go a lot quicker than that, so it's just a baseline, see what we can get. The Ghost is quite far ahead, to be fair. 30.6 on the second lap is a nice improvement. See if we can get more, and we seem to get a lot more on the third lap with a 29.1. Lovely. See if we can get another 29, maybe even to the 28s. No, not quite on the last lap. A little bit too far behind, 29.9. This is going to be weird now because I have to talk during these bits, because no stream audio. So, we take a look at the Xbox leaderboard, find which setup is the top one, apply it, have a look at it, complain about some of the settings, try and remember some of the settings, and then look at the other ones to see if they've gone anything different. Usually they don't, so it just tells you that the setup is good. This one is different on the wings a little bit, so that's interesting. So yeah, we go run that, see what we do, and then come back in to make small changes. First lap, we'll make a mistake. We've come across line with 32.4, so it's not the best news for the setup. On the second lap, we are better, and we come across line with 29.8. Still not as good as that 29.1 that we did in the first stint, but it's there. On the third lap, we go a tenth quicker with a 29.7. On the fourth lap, we finally go green, as I have a voice crack, and we come across the line with a 28.5. Pretty good. So the setup definitely works, of course. So let's see if we can just modify it to give myself give myself a comfortable setup instead of using theirs, because that's not suited for me. They like it on the front, I don't. Although you should probably know that by now. Actually, no, you wouldn't, because not many of my subscribers actually watch every video. And if you do, comment down below telling me off. Anyway, we make changes. We take one of the defaults and apply a basic settings. 29.6 for that first lap. So the basic settings seem to work a lot better than some of the setups. 29.4 for the second lap. So take with that what you will. On the third lap, as the frame rate drops, we come across the line with a third lap of a 28.4. So the pace is there. Consistency not so much. As on the fourth lap we invalidate right at the end, doing a 29.8? 28.8 maybe. I was pretty close to the ghost. I believe I've gone to put my laptop on charge. I don't know why it doesn't line up perfectly halfway. When I mean halfway, I mean between the two sessions. That'd be a good time to put it on charge, you know, so I don't have to. Because then I'm not waiting for myself. I'm just waiting for the game. Anywho, change setup. Give myself 10 extra clicks on both the wings. See what that gives us. Hopefully a little bit more performance. Seems to be so on the first lap as we come across the line with a 28.8. Staying quite close to the ghost. On the second lap we drop a little bit further back, but it's fine as we come across the line with 29.0. Keeping within 0.2. On the third lap we seem to be getting further from the ghost again with 29.4. Not ideal. But on the last lap we bring it back and come across the line with a 28.9. So a pretty good one to continue from. I think wings might be a little bit fine. Drop the front down by 3 clicks. And then we move on to suspension with the roll bars. Get them closer together and it seems to have worked beautifully. 0.3. Not quite on the first lap. Doing a 28.2. Lovely jubbly. On the second lap we do lose a little bit of time, probably from a mistake somewhere. But 28.6 is still pretty good. Again, all 4 laps in 28s would be great. Unfortunately, we're not able to do that, as on the third lap we make a massive mistake and do a 41.3. Probably spun at the end of sector 2 somewhere, or sector 1. 28.8 on the fourth lap though to finish it off is still pretty good. Let's go straight back to suspension. Decrease both roll bars and the rear suspension by quite a bit. So, and we get straight back down there. 28.3.5. It's a pretty good starting point. And then second lap is also pretty good, staying close to Ghost, matching it, doing another 28.5. On the third lap, a little bit further back from the Ghost, but it's fine, because we do a 28.6. 7th consistency is still very good. And on the last lap, little mistake out of the final corner you may have just been able to see. Does result in a 28.6. But again, a 10th consistency is very good. We can just focus on the pace now. And we're going to try doing that by reducing the ride height. 3 on the front and by 6 on the rear. Seems to work as we got a lot closer to the Ghost with a 28.2 on that first lap. Can we do the same on the second lap? No, we go better, going green on Delta by almost a 10th and doing a 28.1. On the third lap, can we match it? No, not quite. We drop further back from the Ghost with a 28.8. But we get back to green on the fourth lap, completing it with an attempt for improvement to a 28.0. So we reduced the front wing again. Play around with rear suspension and both roll bars and increase the ride heights by 1 click each. On the first lap it results in a 28.7, so it does seem to have negatively affected performance with a 28.8 on that second lap as well. On the third lap we get back towards the ghost, coming across the line with a 28.3. Why is the quality so bad on this one? On the fourth lap, we're going across the line with a massive mistake, finishing the stint off with a 38.2. So, still prone to making mistakes, although I think that just could be Miami, the circuit, not the setup. At least I hope it's the circuit, because the setup is a little bit annoying. We go back out after making some changes to try and rectify that, and our first lap is a 28.5, which is nice. On the second lap, we match the distance to the ghost and come across the line with another 28.5. On the third lap, can we do the same? No, we make a mistake, do a 44.4, and I think I invalidated the lap as well. But on the fourth lap, we go back towards the ghost and complete another 28.3 this time. I think that was. More rejections of the wings. See if we can give ourselves a little more straight line speed. See, it works beautifully, getting into the 27s with 27.9 on the first lap. On the second lap, we matched the ghost about a tenth behind, coming across the line with 28.0. If we can get another 27, that would be wonderful. Not quite able to on the third lap, about 4 tenths back from the ghost with 28.5. On the fourth lap though, get a little bit closer to the ghost, still not where we want to be, but a 28.4 is still quite welcomed. And that might be it for Miami. Is that it for me? From Miami? Yes, it is. Unfortunately, I did not look at the lap times. No, I did. Never mind. One invalidated lap in the first 14 is pretty good. It was Canada that I did not look at the lap times. No, I did. Did I? I don't think so. No, because I just decided to play with the pit entry, see if I could actually brake in time. 2 invalidated laps in the second lot of laps. Not that bad. 3 in 28 is pretty good rate. On the third lap though, we do break it, completing 6 invalidated laps, bringing our total to 9. 9 out of 40. Not ideal, but it is better than what we had in Portugal time trial. Or Imola, I can't remember which one. I think it was Imola. So yeah. And in Imola it didn't affect us too much, so I'm not worried really. Laps were the quickest laps were a little bit varied. One was from lap 17, which is not ideal. Unless all of them are really quick, but I don't think they weren't. So we moved to Canada. See if we can get better luck here with making the setup. Although Canada is one of my worst circuits, alongside Miami really. Despite winning the title in Miami last season, we did not win the race last season at Miami because we got a time penalty and lost it to Leclerc. 18.0. No, 12.8. That might have been. I don't even know. 12.2 for the second lap. Either way. So 11s are kind of where we want to be aiming for. If you can get into the 10s, that'd be quite good. On the second lap, we did an 11.0. Yeah, third lap, sorry. On the fourth lap, we go green by almost 3.5 tenths. Getting the 11.5. So pace is there, but invalidated laps is also there, invalidating that last lap and not going green. I think I know what happens this session, damn it. Please don't. I don't want to spoil it, but I'm pretty sure I just wasn't able to get 3/10 green improvement anymore throughout the entire session. No matter what I did for the setup. But I could be wrong, because usually I gain a second with the setup, so I should be getting 10.9 by the end of the session, at least. But we'll see. As we have a look at the top times, of course, see what we can do with theirs, and then we move on. Works pretty well. We get a green delta immediately, getting an 11.8 on the first lap. On the second lap, can we get more greens? Yes, we do, but we mess it up by going over grass at the end. So we match it, doing an 11.9. Still pretty good. On the third lap, we get green by 5/10, so I was incorrect earlier, and we get an 11.4. No icon in the top left, so maybe an invalidated lap. As we go green again by nearly 3/10, this time it works, and it is an 11.1, so the previous one did work as well. So we're almost already there, which is pretty good. See if we can make our own setup this time, make our own setup that can give us that performance though, and then we'll be good to go. I don't actually remember what happened in the races. I'll find out though, because I should theoretically have time to go through both of them today, at least editing wise. Maybe not audio, hopefully audio, I don't know, we'll see. Depends how much time I want to waste doing this instead of something else. We have a look at the setups of the top time trial times. Just making sure I said that correctly. And just matching our geometry to it before we go out for the third run. On first lap, we invalidate it at the final chicane, doing an 11.2, so the pace is there. Not quite able to keep the lap together though. Once again, messing up on the second lap, doing a 22.7. Not losing too much pace at the beginning of the lap though, so we do complete it without restarting with an 11.2, so the pace is very much there. Just can we keep it there? No, not quite, as on the fourth lap we come home with an 11.6. And we go straight to suspension. Reducing the rear suspension, front anti-roll bar and the rear anti-roll bar. Also looking at the ride height, I should not have done so many in one go, but it'll be fine, hopefully. No, not quite. If I gained a lot of performance it would have been. But we come across the line with an 11.3, so it's not exactly the right direction to call that a success. Especially on the second lap when we come across the line with a 26.6. On the third lap, can we get back to the teens, the 11s especially? Yes, we can, with an 11.2. On the fourth lap, can we get into the 10s? Not quite, we're still too far from the coast to be able to do that consistently. But an 11.3 is still a pretty good way to finish the stint. And straight back to suspension. Change on the rear front suspension this time. And the rear. And the roll bars. And the ride height. Wonderful. And it results in a mistake at the final chicane on the first lap. Doing a 22.4. And having to restart to get a good second lap. Which I'm glad I did. Because we go green by 2.5 tenths, doing a 10.8. I don't even think that was a half, I think it was just 2 tenths. On the third lap, we matched the previous lap, doing an 11.0. Not able to match the ghost though. It is a new target, however. On the fourth lap, we do get better and get closer to the ghost. Coming across the line with an 11.0 again though, so we are getting quicker. Just need a little bit more consistency, and we will be all together there. I'm going to try and attempt that by increasing the front wing to 30. It works immediately, gaining a 10th, doing a 10.7 on that first lap. On the second lap, we do make a mistake and drop further back, doing an 11.5. So it's not that good. Variation is all over the place. On the third lap, we've got quite a bit of variation again, doing 11.1 this time. And on the fourth lap, we go back towards Ghost, completing a 10.8. So we need something that will settle the car down a bit, make us make less mistakes. And hopefully we can get that by changing the suspension and ride height together. On the first lap we matched the pace with a 10.8 on that first lap. On the second lap we do start green, and we are able to finish green only by half a tenth, but 10.7 is always nice to see. On the third lap, no greens this time, really far away from the ghost, doing a 12.7. For the first time in a long while. On the fourth lap to finish the stint, again 19.5 this time. Quite a massive mistake. Nice 360 though across the grass at the end. And I think at this point I was getting bored. You know, doing 1.5 hour time trial sessions for every circuit is quite annoying. I should really give myself more breaks. On the first lap, we get back out there after making some changes, and we go quicker by a tenth, doing the 10.6. On the second lap, we try to match it, not quite able to. The ghost pulls away, and we complete an 11.3. See if we can close that 7/10 gap down a bit. We seem to be able to on the third lap, reducing the gap to the ghost with a 10.9. And on the fourth and final lap, we matched the distance to ghost, maybe a little bit further back. Yes, we are with an 11.1. Small changes to the wings, both of them up by 1, I think it was, at least the rear was, I'm not sure about the front. I don't know why, because I do know why, I wasn't paying attention, I was looking outside my window. Unfortunately on that second lap we do invalidate it right at the end, so the lap does not matter, which is why I spin. And for the third lap we get back out there, close to the ghost, getting the 10.7, so it's kind of redeeming the stint a little bit. Sorry about that, I left in a clip that was supposed to be deleted. It doesn't matter anyway, did a 20 point something on this lap, so it's a pretty poor one to finish the stint. The clip that I left in was me accidentally restarting the lap, which was weird. I don't know why I did that. Anywho, back to suspension. We increased the front one by 3 clicks. See if we can get that back to a normal level. And we changed the ride height, as is customary, because we're not allowed to do one at a time, because that would be stupid and slow. Never mind the fact you wouldn't know what you're doing. 11.0 on the first lap suggests we kind of do know what we're doing though, although that might have been 11.8. Because we do an 11.9 on the second lap, and we matched the distance to the ghost pretty much. On the third lap, trying to get a little bit closer to the ghost, coming across the line with an 11.2, so it's a little bit better. On the fourth lap, can we redeem the setup? No, not quite. maintaining that distance to the Ghost with another 11.3. Not quite being able to do a 360 this time. Is that the end of the session? That might be the end of the session. It is the end of the session. A little bit annoying with the setup, not able to quite get the best one. But it'll have to do. It's really annoying that we didn't quite get the one for Canada. And Miami was a little bit iffy as well. So, but I'm hoping that was just at the inconsistencies there just because of the circuit. If not, then I'm kind of screwed. But we do have a healthy, like, 65 point gap to max in the championship. So I'm not that worried about it. It might be 68. Because I thought it was 54, then I gained 15 points. So it might be 69. Anywho, majority of the fastest laps were in the middle of the stint, which is a little bit annoying. So I might have accidentally saved the wrong setup. But that is that for today. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, check out my channels, this one Twitch VODs and the behind the scenes. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.